So good morning, guys. It is day 23 of SSSVEDA vlogging every day in April. It's a Wednesday. I think next Wednesday is the last day. 7 plus 23. Yeah, so we're in the home stretch here of vlogging every day in April. April's almost gone. So today's topic, on the heels of yesterday with how do we take our coffee, today's topic is who would we most like to drink our morning coffee with, or something like that. Who would we most like to have coffee with? Well, of course, it's you guys. Cheers. So, um, I've been thinking about this one since yesterday because I did happen to look forward and remember what today's topic was yesterday when I was looking at the coffee and saw coffee 2 days in a row. And so I'm going to throw out a couple of different things here because it really depends on how you want to interpret this question. Who do you want to have coffee with? Man, the first one I immediately thought of was, I want to be somewhere exotic with my wife, and I want to I want to be hanging in a beach, hammock somewhere with a beautiful sunrise coming up, and both of us in our bathing suits, just enjoying a cup of coffee, watching the sun come up. That would be a pretty awesome thing. Sorry about that. My computer's rebooting, and I just got blue here. Turn off this monitor. There we go. So that's my first one is somewhere exotic with my wife. But again, I kind of feel like that's a cop-out because I have breakfast or coffee with my wife every morning. It's nowhere exotic. It's in our living room in there, but sometimes in Disney. So the next one, again, kind of a cop-out, but it's my dad. My dad and I can sit and talk for hours about silly stuff, and we have had coffee on many occasions in exotic places, no less. There's that reboot. So, but again, kind of a cop-out, but we don't do that as often anymore. So that would be my second choice is my dad. So going beyond the cop-out stuff, who would I have coffee with that I don't normally get to have coffee with? I can't just call up somebody and say, hey, Mr. Celebrity or rock star or politician or whoever. So my first answers are all going to be dead people. So again, going to the extreme of possibility here. So the first one that came out to me in that genre would be Walt Disney. Obviously I'm a Disney lover. You know that by now. But the guy's got to have some incredible stories, even though he's dead now. If he were alive, or if I were in the time frame, whatever, however you want to make this magical thing happen. Walt Disney's got to have some pretty amazing things where you could just sit back and not even really say a word and just listen to him go on and on and on. And that'd probably be one coffee that I would not want to end. Probably a couple of musicians. I would love to listen to Jim Morrison. The guy was a poet. I mean, how cool would that be to sit there and listen to someone like a Jim Morrison? Another live one I thought of was Paul McCartney. Probably has some pretty cool stories where you just want to sit back, shut up, and listen to him talk. Dead guys. Ronald Reagan. I could probably not say a word and be intrigued for hours. One guy I thought of, I did not realize until I fortunately Googled. Don't even know if I want to reveal who it is, but cool guy I always thought, but he's in jail right now, so I probably wouldn't want to have coffee with him because it would put me in an uncomfortable position. The guy, I'll throw him out there. His name is Randall Duke Cunningham. He was the first, and is still alive, obviously, in jail, but he was the first fighter pilot ace in Vietnam. So always been kind of an idol of mine, and I kind of have apparently lost touch with keeping up with him in recent years. But he was the first fighter pilot ace in Vietnam. Some quick background here, I guess, would be to be an ace. What everybody knows as a fighter pilot ace. You had to kill 5 or shoot down 5 airplanes. You didn't have to kill the guy. You just had to shoot them down because they would parachute out many times. So anyway, shoot down 5 bad guys. Was very popular in World War I, which would be the biplane Red Baron era, World War II, Germany and Japan, even up into Korea, quite a few fighter pilot aces. But the common thing among all those wars were guns. All airplanes had guns back then. And so if you think of Snoopy and the Red Baron, he had guns on his doghouse there, but that's how the biplanes of World War I and the fighter planes they were still propeller planes in World War II, and then the jets eventually in Korea. It was all maneuvering in really close behind a guy within real close distance. They used to say filling your windshield or windscreen with your opponent and then squeezing the trigger and machine guns firing and taking him down in a blaze. So that was all of the older wars. Vietnam was the first technology war, the real technology war. So somewhere between Korea and Vietnam, we developed the missile, the guided missile. So that was what we thought was going to just make us the wonderful, chest-thumping U.S. military that we thought we would be. And then we found out that our missiles were crap. So there's two ways missiles work. They're either guided by radar or heat-seeking. So we thought we could just fire our missiles and they would wander off and blow up enemies and so on. So we kind of lost touch with our dogfighting roots. And our missiles sucked, and our planes that we had developed, the F-4 Phantom, didn't even have a gun on it. So we found out really quickly that we made a mistake. They developed the Navy Fighter Weapons School, which is known as Top Gun, that doesn't even exist anymore. So if you're a Tom Cruise fan and you listen to my video the other day on our favorite movies, Top Gun doesn't exist anymore in the form that you saw it in the movie. I know I'm winding on here with something that meant nothing to today's video, but it's a little bit of background. So anyway, they formed Top Gun, the Navy Fighter Weapons School, and Randall Duke Cunningham, was the first ace in the Navy of all armed forces to be an ace in Vietnam, but he was a Navy aviator, and so he was the first ace. So I always kind of liked him and thought he was a cool guy to listen to. He became a congressman or senator or something on down the road, and of course became, something about taxes or misreporting some income, blah, 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 some other dealings. So anyway, that happened in the 2000s. So I want to talk to the Randy Cunningham of 40 years ago. But anyway, those are going to be my my who I would like to have coffee with guys, except for the one in jail. Most of those guys are dead, so that would be some mystical stuff happening there, other than just getting me on board with people that would normally not have a cup of coffee with me, other than you guys. So I'm going to come back to you guys. You would be the one I would want to have coffee with, because I can. And here we are having coffee. Good morning.